Give me 90 days. Just 90 days of your life. And I will show you how to become a different person, someone relentless, someone who doesn't quit when it gets hard. Most people will never do this. That's exactly why most people never change. But you're still watching, which means part of you already knows you're ready. Let me ask you something honestly. How many times have you started something? A new habit, a new routine, a new version of yourself, only to quit 2 weeks later? Be honest. Most of us have a graveyard of abandoned New Year's resolutions and half-finished plans. That's not a character flaw. That's what happens when you rely on motivation instead of building a system. 90 days isn't random. It's long enough to break old patterns and short enough that you can actually commit to it without quitting in week 2. Here's the science behind it. Briefly, your brain doesn't form new identity-level habits in a few days. Most research on habit formation suggests it takes somewhere between 2 and 3 months of consistent repetition before a behavior stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like who you are. That's why so many 30-day challenges fail to create lasting change. They end right as the habit was starting to take root. The first 30 days, you're just building the habit. It will feel forced, uncomfortable. That's normal. You'll wake up some mornings and every part of you will want to skip it. Skip the workout, skip the reading, skip the hard conversation you've been avoiding. This is the test, not because the action itself is difficult, but because you're proving to yourself for the first time in a long time that your decisions aren't optional anymore. The next 30 days, the habit starts becoming part of who you are. You stop negotiating with yourself every morning. Something shifts here. The resistance gets quieter. You still don't always want to do the work, but you stop asking yourself whether you will. The question changes from "should I" to "when do I start?" That shift, from debating to doing, is the entire game. The final 30 days, this is where Relentless is built. You're not motivated anymore. You're disciplined, and discipline doesn't ask permission. This is the stage most people never reach, because they quit somewhere in the first 60 days. But if you make it here, something remarkable happens. The habit stops requiring willpower altogether. It becomes automatic, the same way brushing your teeth is automatic. You don't debate it. You just do it. Now let's talk about what relentless actually means, because most people get this wrong. People think relentless means intensity. It doesn't. Relentless means consistency that doesn't care how you feel today. Intensity is a burst. It's the version of you that goes hard for 3 days and burns out by day 4. Relentless is different. Relentless is quieter, less dramatic, and far more powerful. Because it doesn't depend on how inspired you feel when you wake up. It means showing up on the days you don't want to. It means finishing what you started, even when the excitement is gone. It means choosing your future self over your current comfort every single day for 90 days straight. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who built something real, whether that's a business, a body, a skill, or a reputation. None of them got there because they felt motivated every single day for years. They got there because they built a relationship with discipline that didn't depend on emotion. Let's get practical. Here is what relentless looks like in practice, broken into 3 non-negotiables. 1. You do the hard thing first, before anything else, every morning. Not after coffee, not after checking your phone, before anything else competes for your energy. You do the one thing that actually moves you forward. This single habit alone will outperform almost anything else you could do, because it sets the tone for every decision that follows that day. 2. You track your progress so you can't lie to yourself about effort. This doesn't need to be complicated. A simple checklist, a notes app, a calendar with X's on it. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a record that can't be argued with. Memory is unreliable and self-serving. A written record isn't. When you're tempted to tell yourself, "I've been doing pretty well," your tracker will tell you the truth. 3. You remove the option to quit. Don't make it a choice you revisit daily. Decide once for 90 days and stop debating it. This is the part most people skip, and it's the most important one. Every single day you spend deciding whether to keep going is a day you're draining willpower you don't have to spend. Make the decision once, fully, completely, and then your only job each day is execution, not negotiation. I want to address something honestly, because I think it matters. There will be days in this process where it feels pointless, where you don't see results yet, and you start to wonder if any of this is working. That feeling is not a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you're in the part of the process where the work is invisible, where the foundation is being built before anyone, including you, can see it. Almost everyone who has ever built anything real has stood exactly where you're standing right now, doing the work with no visible proof yet that it's working. The difference between the people who make it and the people who don't usually isn't talent. It's whether they kept going through that invisible middle section. 90 days from today, you will either be exactly where you are now, or you will be relentless. The only difference between those two people is what you decide to do starting tomorrow morning. There is no version of this where staying the same is the safe option. Staying the same has a cost too. You just don't feel it as sharply because it's spread out over months and years instead of concentrated into one hard decision. The 90 days will pass either way. The only question is who you'll be on the other side of them. If you're ready, subscribe to Avexora and start day one with us. Comment day one if you're committing right now, and if you know someone who needs to hear this today, someone who's been talking about changing for months but hasn't started, send this to them. Sometimes the only thing standing between someone and their next 90 days is a reminder that it's not too late to start. This is Avexora. Money, success, facts, growth. Think bigger, grow faster. See you in the next one.